So error fights in a lot of different ways, right? And one way is complete denial of truth. Another way is re-imaging itself. You could say creating an illusion of truth, right? An example of that is recycling is an illusion of truth. Microphone.
Oh, sorry. So are you suggesting that we give up coffee, tea, wine or whatever? Or is it just the overindulgence of those things? Is one cup of coffee a day okay? Or one square of chocolate? Or
right, you have... A good question, good
Just
question.
put it on the board, Jesus, the set of rules.
Yeah, what's your set of rules? I know most of you would like a set of rules, but love, let's look at love. If I love the environment and I think about 8 billion people having 1 cup of coffee a day, how many coffee plants are going to be required for my 1 cup of coffee a day? If 8 billion people do it. It's the same, if there's 8 billion people eating meat, how much more of the earth is going to have to get destroyed for those 8 billion people to eat meat every meal? If there's 8 billion people on earth eating chocolate, where are we going to get it from? Like 1 bar of chocolate is a whole tree, whole cocoa tree, which takes 1 whole day to harvest and so you've got to also bear in mind that person who's doing that is earning less than $1 a day doing it. He doesn't live like we live, because we want our chocolate at a certain price as well. We're not willing to pay like $20 or $30, €30 a bar for it. We want it for €3 a bar. And so we're not prepared to even give them a decent wage to do it. But even if we did give them a decent wage to do it, 8 billion people having a small bar of chocolate a day, where is that going to end up? So what I'm suggesting is, yes, why are we doing it? It's because of an addictive need to do it without consideration of love. Now, when there is an addictive need without consideration of love, the very first thing a person would do who loves would stop doing it. They would just stop, and they would feel the reason why they want to do it, why they feel the need. So for example, if I feel the need to have something that I know is damaging to the environment, I've got to make sure that my desire to do it is ethical, or has some balance in it, or has some educational purpose, or has some greater good, other than just, I want a chocolate bar because I need to suppress an emotion. See, it's well known, isn't it, that these substances, alcohol, chocolate, coffee, they affect the transmitters in your brain to make you feel good. So I would ask you, why don't you feel good without them? Now, God created all of the beautiful plants that he created all around the earth, but do you think he created the processes now that we put upon them? It's sort of like, if you look at what's the most abundant sources of food, it's fruit and vegetables. Vegetables are the fastest growing plants, generally, on the planet. And fruit, 1 tree, thousands of pieces of fruit in 1 year. Same goes with nuts, thousands of pieces of nuts in 1 year. And also, they multiply very easily. Often they can be grown from cuttings as well as from, seed. They are by far the most sustainable things that we have. Anything that feeds our addiction becomes a drain on the environment and a drain on society. So how many trees do I have to get rid of to put in a cocoa plantation? How many forests do I need to get rid of to put in my coffee beans? How many? And then when you talk about forest, there's millions of different varieties of animals, birds, creatures, insects, right the way down to plants that I'm clearing en masse in order to feed this addiction. So is this addiction as innocent as I believe it to be? Yep.
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying but there's a big difference between an addiction and the odd cup of coffee or a square of chocolate or whatever. And, you know, you don't have to have
I don't agree.
You don't have to have a whole bar of chocolate every day. You might just have 1 or 2 squares, which I do normally, you know.
I know that you do, and you're justifying it. I get that. I get the reason for your question, which is the motivation of, like, this Jesus guy, he's so severe, isn't he? He's saying, I'm not allowed to even have my 2 squares of chocolate a day. You know, like, how bad is that? And it's like, and the other guy's saying, I just have a little drink, you know, at night before bed or whatever. You're saying I'm not allowed to have, I just have my 1 puff of smoke a day and whatever. And the reality is that when we really want something and we feel we need it, we will justify lots of things for it. And if everyone on the planet has the same justification, large-scale destruction of the planet will occur. Right? So if everyone on the planet has the desire to have as big a house as I have, when I say the biggest house as I have, if I have a double-storey house that's way too big for what I need, if everybody on the planet does that, then at the end of the day, we're going to run out of resources. If everybody on the planet lives like Europeans and Americans and Australians, and the reason why everybody on the planet doesn't is because Europeans, Americans, Australians, you know, the Western cultures have taken and raped the countryside of large-scale populations historically for centuries in order to get what we now have. And we continue to do it. We're taking it out of the ground, we're taking it out of the atmosphere, we're taking it out of the environment, we're polluting the atmosphere at the same time, polluting the environment at the same time. And every single one of us doesn't realise that my little 2 squares of chocolate a day contribute to that. Right? And that's a problem that we don't see that.
Can I say it contributes in more ways than one? Like, it contributes in terms of environmental destruction,
yep.
But I sometimes feel even more significantly, it contributes in that it is helping me to deny my pain, helping me to manage or control my experience.
Sometimes we feel it's the only thing we get to enjoy a day.
And in that process, instead of feeling that I don't enjoy my day, we have these little tethering points where we get some comfort.
Yep.
And sometimes it's not even those things you're saying. Sometimes it's bread, or, you know, sometimes it's like there's a lot of things we do to kind of, that we consume in this case, or engage our phone or lots of things to avoid this displeasure, this lack of pleasure inside of us. And in doing that, we hold on to the sin that is largely contributing even more to the destruction of our relationships, of our children's condition, of the society we live in.
Our health.
Our relationship with God. So it's a double-edged sword, if you like. One, the environmental destruction is almost an effect of the desire to hold on to the sin that we're managing with the physical substance.
And even in the environmental destruction, how do people who live in those environments eventually end up living? They end up living with dirt floors in shanty towns, you know, working on these farms that we get our daily thing from, and we're not considering love of them either in the process of what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, the big companies are making more and more money out of it, and the small people who are doing the actual work are getting poorer and poorer and poorer. Right? You look at how life here is in Europe. You're getting leveraged with your money leveraged on everything you do. Like, you can't even wee without having to pay for it. That's bad.
Oh, that's quite good, actually. Okay. Yeah.
Is that better? The light went on, huh? Okay.